So what happens when a marketing pro, someone with 25 years in the game, lets an AI take the wheel on their own website's SEO? Well, we're about to find out. And let me be clear, this isn't some polished theoretical demo. This is a real live-fire test of a tool called Claude Cowork. And honestly, the results might just change how you think about your own site.
But before we dive in, let me ask you a quick question. Is your website secretly broken? I know it sounds dramatic, but so often what looks perfect and polished on the surface is actually hiding some critical flaws underneath. Flaws you can't see, but Google can.
And that's really the heart of the issue, this silent infrastructure problem. It has nothing to do with your brilliant content or your killer strategy. It's a technical glitch, totally invisible to the human eye, but it's like a giant, flashing neon sign to search engines. The expert in our case study had this exact problem, and there's a good chance you do too.
All right, so what is this magic tool that found all these hidden errors? Let's take a quick look at Claude Cowork and really understand its core promise, which is all about turning a simple conversation into actual executed work.
Okay, so here's the deal. At its core, Claude Cowork connects Anthropic's powerful AI directly to your business tools, in this case, a Webflow website. Think of it like a secure bridge to your site's backend. It gives the AI permission to read every page, to understand your content, and, this is the most important part, to actually publish changes for you.
And this is the crucial thing to get, it's not just an assistant that gives you a to-do list or some suggestions. No, it's an executor. You have a conversation, you call the shots, you make the decisions, and the AI goes and does the actual work on your live site. That is a massive shift.
Now, let's get into the case study itself. A fractional CMO ran an audit on his own website, a site he was pretty proud of, thought it was in great shape. What Claude Cowork found in just a few minutes was, well, let's just say it was a little humbling. So this is the website we're talking about. It's a 41-page digital magazine. The owner, a marketing expert mind you, was feeling pretty confident about his setup. So confident, in fact, you can see right there he'd performed exactly 0 manual SEO audits. He just assumed everything was fine. Spoiler alert, he was very, very wrong.
So the audit comes back with 4 major categories of failure. And the very first problem? It affected this many pages. 13.
And this slide just illustrates the issue perfectly. It was something called template brand bleed. Basically, 13 pages still had the original Webflow templates branding in their SEO titles. So instead of telling Google they were a fractional CMO firm, they were accidentally advertising themselves as a demo template called Citrex. Whoops. A huge invisible error.
Okay, that was bad. But the second major problem impacted 7 pages. And these weren't just any old pages either.
Right. These were the most important revenue-driving pages on the entire site. The home page, the pricing page, the sign-up page, all of them had completely blank SEO descriptions. To Google, these critical pages might as well not have existed.
You think it's over? Not even close. The third problem was all about content, and the scale of it was even bigger. 18.
This chart really tells the story. Almost 70% of the site's expert articles, that's 18 out of 26, had no SEO description whatsoever. Just think about that for a second. They were creating all this fantastic, authoritative content and then basically making it invisible to the world's biggest search engine.
And the final problem was a bit more technical, but just as damaging. The 4 templates used for things like case studies and courses had no dynamic SEO. That means every single case study page had the exact same generic title. Google sees that and thinks, hey, this is low-quality duplicate content, and it devalues all of them.
So, yeah, the audit revealed a complete mess. But finding the problems is one thing. Fixing them is a whole other story. So now, let's see how the AI was put to work to actually execute the solution in a 4-phase fix. So here was the game plan. And notice something really important here. Only one task, that first one, was done manually. The other 3, the really complex and time-consuming ones, were handed over completely to Claude Cowork.
Let's just park on that second phase for a second, the magazine articles. This is wild. The AI read every single article, understood the nuance of the content, wrote a unique, high-quality SEO description for each one, and then published all 17 of them. The total time it took the human? Just the time to have one single conversation.
And honestly, it gets even more impressive. To fix that template problem, Claude didn't just fill in existing fields. No, It actually modified the website's database. It created new SEO fields that didn't even exist before. Then it wrote the content for 7 project pages and published everything. That's so far beyond just simple copywriting.
And here it is, the final scorecard. A clean sweep. All 4 phases totally completed. In total, 42 pages on the site were fixed, and the total amount of manual work done by the human expert, just 20 minutes to fix that initial branding issue. Everything else was the AI.
So, what's the big takeaway here? After seeing this tool audit and completely overhaul his own website, what was the final verdict from a 25-year marketing veteran? What does this technology actually mean for the future of how we work? This slide right here, it says it all. A traditional agency would have billed for weeks of discovery, copywriting, implementation, the whole shebang. Claude Cowork did the same amount of work, maybe more, in just a few hours. We're talking about a completely different league of speed.
And this is the core message. This is the paradigm shift. Your role becomes strategic. You make the decisions, you provide the direction. The AI handles the nitty-gritty, labor-intensive execution. You get to be the architect, and the AI becomes your hyper-efficient construction crew that works 24/7.
So who should be paying attention to this? Well, honestly, anyone who owns a Webflow site, manages a marketing team, or publishes content. It's for teams who just want to move faster, and it's for executives who want to see AI applied to real business infrastructure, not just another chatbot.
And we'll just end on this thought. This isn't just about some cool new tool. It's about a fundamental change in how work gets done. And it really makes you ask the question, while your team is sitting in yet another status meeting just talking about what to do next, what are your competitors already out there executing?